Hey, Big Al. Oh, excuse me, I got a dog sitting in my chair. And I think she's mad I moved her. Just waiting a few more minutes for more people to come in. And now it looks like the dog wants a front row seat. Oh well, she's seen all the movies, so she'll be okay. Won't you, Bandit? This is the virtual cabin. It's been a while since I played it, so I'm not so I think I remember most of it, but I guess we're going to find out in a minute. Well, I guess I could do the offline bots while we wait. Yeah, I love the loading screens in this. The artwork is just so detailed, even if it is gory. I'm gonna grab that.
So young. So pretty. Kill them all, Jason.
Yep, there's Pamela. Ooh. Oh. Hey, Wolf 10 Media. Let's see. Yeah, it's been a while since I've played this game in general. It's Kiki, my mama. I probably won't do too well this time. It's just been so long since I played.
Make them suffer like we did.
Well, I got one of them, but it... Man, that was done reading for a UPC. I mean, NPC. Ugh. Man, I've got retail on the brain. Let's see. No, I can't do the sleeping bag in this. And they jumped out the window. Ooh. Man, what a little too far. Bandit! Ugh. Doggy's trying to... He's sweet and all, but... Oh... Oh, darn. Got stuck. Ah. I can't complain too much, because you never seen Jason run in the movie. Well, run or jump in the movies. Ugh, darn.
They want to hurt you, Jason. Don't let them.
Well, that was rude.
They deserve to die, Jason. Make them suffer.
Well, I got one. Well, actually two. Oh, okay, where'd she go? Oh, there she is. And so you don't go. Out that door without getting in. Well, window without getting injured. I'm sorry, I just take this bathroom. Yeah, I don't think anyone would really want to see that crossover. At least in anything except a parody. Okay.
Yes. Kill for mother.
Oh. Alright, I got rage now. There's not a lot of time left, but I got rage. So what does rage do? Well... Oh, darn.
Jason, do you know what your gift is? No matter what they do to you, you cannot die. You can never die.
I just want... Okay, those two cabins. Really it.
Don't stop, Jason. They deserve to die. Make them suffer like we did.
Okay, just going a little bit farther here. It's kind of weird that they left all these knives around here for Jason. Okay. 2 minutes left.
Jason, my boy.
Yeah, he got me with a pocket knife.
No matter what they do to you, you cannot die. You can never die. Get up, Jason.
2 pocket knives. Man.
Find them. Please, no. Kill them.
Is he gonna be used to becoming? Ah. Not bad, I'm a little rusty.
You've done your job well, and Mommy is pleased. Come home, sweetie.
Okay. Now let's go to the virtual cabin, since apparently no one else is coming. Okay, actually let me... Sorry, it's been a while since I've done this. Also, you're going to hear bits of trivia throughout this process. And this is the original virtual cabin. And we're locked in. I'll mess with the computer in a little bit. But Out of the first 10 films, every Friday the 13th movie has been released on a Friday, but only 4 have been released on a Friday the 13th. And the role of Jason was played by at least 4 different people in Part 2. The unmasked version and hairy version was played by Warrington Gillette. Steve Daskowitz, I'm sorry if I butchered that name. I don't know why I keep getting these names wrong. Did the stunts for Jason. For the majority of the film, Jerry Wallace, who is credited as the Prowler, is said to have played the role in certain scenes. FX artist Carl Fullerton may have also appeared as Jason in the film, as evidenced by a behind-the-scenes photo. However, the very first appearance of Jason was played by costume designer Ellen Lutter in a shot of Jason's feet walking towards Alice's house. Well, at least for Part 2, I think one of the kids of the crew actually played Jason in Part 1.
Okay, so did you want to do an intro? Hello. Welcome to the Virtual Cabin. I'm Chuck Brengard, CEO of Ilphonic, and we are the developers behind Friday the 13th, the game, which you are currently playing now.
Is there anything you want to say to the fans?
Sure. I just want to say thanks for playing and supporting the game. Our fan base has been incredible. This project has exceeded even our wildest dreams, and that's because of all your continued and amazing support.
So where are we?
So this is the Virtual Cabin, 2.0 to be exact. The Virtual Cabin was a way for our backers to check out new art assets and discover a few hidden Easter eggs as we were building.
I kind of wish they had done a
VR
version of one of the movies and maybe do their own Jason story. I think that would have been interesting.
We wanted to present a fun way to go behind the scenes and learn more about how the movies and the game were made. Consider this as an expanded virtual museum, a space where you can explore the lore of Friday the 13th and take it all in. Who knows? There might even be a few new Easter eggs to discover. If you go digging deep enough. Sorry, I didn't mean for that to sound so ominous.
StarCon, the beginning of the 3rd edition, Jeff Burnett played the lovable nerd writer Eddie Carlo, who runs a sci-fi premise by Tina. 3,000 years into the future, the entire galaxy is populated by highly evolved protozoa. Only one human being and his woman still exist amongst the stars. I don't know, but the cover looks a lot like Star Wars. Well, there's a face only a mother could love. Fanzine magazine. In Part 3, Debbie and Andy, played by Tracy Savage and Jeffrey Rogers, canoodle in a hammock. After returning from a shower, Debbie lounges with a Fangoria magazine. She flips past an article about Thomas Savini, the man behind many of the classic Friday the 13th special effects. Unluckily for her, Jason was hiding with a knife beneath the hammock. Yeah, no, that is bad luck. Oh yeah, the Doublemint twins were in a Friday the 13th movie. Yeah. Oh yeah, and As part of the Kickstarter campaign, you could have been included in the game, like Eric Jr. La Chapa. Yeah, it's still a little weird that the Chinese figurines and this stuff is on here, but okay. Yeah, and I cannot read the text on here. I kind of wish they'd cleared that up. Okay. The script was written for Jason Goes to Hell is exceptional in that not a single teenager was called for in the script. Novels. Friday the 13th said several novels and a TV series which actually had nothing to do with as far as I can tell, had nothing to do with Jason. And a comic book miniseries. I wonder if Big Al has that or knows about that. Oh. The music of the films. Yeah, this is what sound engraver would enjoy. The music of the film's composer Harry Freddini has scored 8 of the Friday films. Some of his older music was reused in Part 7, but it was his first score for the original film that set the tone for the rest of the series. Okay, the music takes life on its own. The music became a character in itself. Well, yeah. Let's see. Oh, there's a little diagram, but it's... Oh, look, there's Jason. This is the first movie. The CEO of Paramount Pictures wanted to make the franchise into a serial, with each movie having a different story. And it was, and several people insisted that Jason be in the sequel. Yeah, I think several horror movies, these franchises were trying to do more of a serial, in which the story changed from movie to movie. Let's see, I think the Prom Night series actually done that to a certain point. I think they had 2 on Mary Alice or something like that. It's been a while since I've seen those. And, Halloween was infamous in that it actually got the first 2 movies include Michael Myers, as you know. And then you have the Season of the Witch or Halloween 3. And if you know anything about Halloween 3, it is that Michael Myers only appeared in a commercial on a TV set. And naturally people weren't too happy at that, so for Halloween 4, Michael's back. Now immediately Friday the 13th did try something similar. They did kill off Jason, and they set up for Tommy to be the replacement, but they changed their mind for some reason and brought Jason back. Yeah. Oh yeah. The role of Ellie was played by a tough member of a local biker gang who was played by Nick Savage. But it was a rough movie for him. His bike gets damaged, his friends get killed, and his arm is chopped off by a hatchet. Oh, and there was an alternate ending where he survives. Jessica. Oh yeah, apparently Jason has a half-sister that Pamela didn't know about, so I'm guessing the dad, well, yeah, Jason's dad has never actually appeared on film. I know in one of the movies there was an alternate ending where Jason's dad was supposed to, well, he was checking up on how Jason's grave and Pamela's grave were being maintained. He actually didn't have any speaking lines. But, you know, the character he was talking to ended up getting killed. So naturally that version was, well, that was the ending that was cut. I bet you this will be an interesting Sims build. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, these are some pictures of either artwork or people who worked on the project or donated money. I actually think the top one has Kane Hodder in it. I could be wrong. Tiffany Cox and Kenny Rydell. Oh yeah, they had a spring break of '84 collection with skimpy swimsuits. Okay, that door's locked. Casey Scott! A little late, but better late than never. Ugh, look at this mirror. Completely ugly. Oh yeah, shaving nudity is one of the hallmarks of a Friday the 13th film, especially female nudity. In the 9th installment of Friday, the Final Friday, Adam Marcus subverted expectations by including male nudity in roughly equal measure, including a scene in which described many as homoerotic shaving scene. Okay. I'm trying to think if I've seen. It's been a while since I've seen the 9th movie. That was Jason. It's kind of hard to think because there were 2 movies that came out the same year. Jason X and Freddy and Jason vs. Freddy. Then again, the 9th film was in the New Line era. Oh, thanks, Wolf 10 Media. The Red Bandana. In Friday lore, Steve Christie is the entrepreneurial son of David and Louise Christie, who owned the camp when Jason drowned. And Steve takes it upon himself to renovate the camp and reopen it. And by doing that, he lures back a killer to seek revenge for Jason's death. And hey, imagine if he just let the camp rot and Camp Blood remained dormant in the woods. Jason Goes to Hell was the first New Line Friday. Yeah. I thought so. Although my brother tried to tell me that he thought that Jason Takes Manhattan, was kind of the one that started where it started to get a little crazy for him. Keep in mind, my brother was the one that introduced me to all these films. Chris, actress Dana Kimbleman played the scarred and tumultuous heroine Chris. Marguerite Happy, however, played her stunt double. Okay. Okay, why would you wear a swimsuit in the bathtub? Jenny Myers, known as the girl next door, is voiced by Christina Kimball. Unlike her character, Christina is a traveler. She was born in New York, spent her formative years in Germany, France, and Italy. Okay. But at the same time, I wonder if she's related to another infamous slasher. Yeah, that definitely would be interesting. At least they didn't go too crazy, if that's what they were kind of going to hint at. Yeah. Imagine if they had put in a character with the last name of Kruger. Or last name of Ray. Shelley is mom. Oh yeah, Larry Zingerman played the fan favorite role of Shelley in Friday the 13th Part 3. In the film, Vera, played by Kathleen Parks, is on the docks when she finds Shelley's wallet. Inside is a picture of Larry and his actual mom. She gets startled by a noise and the wallet falls in the water. Upon fishing it out, she is confronted by Jason. And I think you guys know what happens next. So apparently after filming, Larry gave the photo to his mom. She put it on his refrigerator for 30 years. Oh yeah, and another little fun fact about Larry Zingerman, Larry Zener, is he actually, he stopped acting and he became a lawyer. Body of the Friday the 13th murderer missing. Beard stolen by West Sticks morgue. The mysteries of Jason lies somewhere between the natural and the supernatural. He's a man who can be cut and killed, but also a boy who survived drowning. In one telling, his immortal dark heart switches host into another. He is a woundable adversary. Like a good campfire story, the definition of the truth is just out of reach. And I actually found one story that Jason might have. The Friday the 13th, as we know it, was based on a story, on a real life event that is actually still unsolved. I forgot the name of the beach, but apparently you had 4 teenagers who were on this beach. The 2 couples, 2 guys, 2 girls. And, they went to, they spent the night, and 3 of them ended up dead. One of the girl, and they were all in the same area, near the tent. One of them was one of the girls was really, really badly disfigured. And the guy, well, her boyfriend, who was far away from camp and had left his shoes at one area, he was badly hurt. He barely remembered that night. And he actually was a suspect. But he was the only survivor. Now, there were a couple other suspects. There was a war veteran and one other person. Wine bottle. After hooking up with Tina, Crispin Glover's character Jimmy goes downstairs for wine. And when he tries to find a corkscrew, Jason helps him. Yeah. This is why you need to be careful what you ask for. Especially when you don't know who's around you. The Big Apple. Yeah, I feel like there would have been a better way to add Jason Takes Manhattan into the game. Or at least a better way to get... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, the stock pot. Southmount Ethel Hubbard, played by Carol Lachtel. I cannot pronounce some of these names. In many ways, Ethel was a fool to Pamela Voorhees. Both were cooks, both had special sons, and both had a great set of hair. In Ethel's case, it was a wig that was from Burt Reynolds' movie called Sharky's Machine. I will admit I've not seen that one. Oh yeah, and here's Kim. She's actually one of the... Oh yeah, Deborah Kim. Yeah, she is one of the more calmer actors. Well, the more calmer characters in the game. Actually, she hides under a bed, and she's not seen Jason or any bodies or anything. If she hides under a bed or in a closet, and Jason does not know... Jason could walk by the cabin with the vision on, and that cabin will still look normal. Yeah, we'll need that later. Waste of budget. Oh yeah, Julius and Jason were supposed... Well, their boxing match was supposed to take place in Madison Square Garden. But they decided it was too expensive. And, of course, Julius finds out why you don't challenge a supernatural killer to a boxing match. And probably one of the most infamous scenes in a Friday the 13th film. And something else I want to kind of note about Jason Takes Manhattan is it actually, to me, it kind of reminded me of Return of the Jedi. Where, you had one part of the film that had, it felt like a separate story almost. Like in Return of the Jedi, it was rescue Han Solo, and that took up a large chunk of time. And in Jason Takes Manhattan, you had them on the boat going to Manhattan.
sure the phone calls.
Okay, sorry. That was great. Can you start?
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of films in the,
Into your answer?
well, a lot of automobiles in the films,
So the creepiest part about working on this game was
and
these weird phone calls. to my
several of
personal
them
phone.
have
We worked on the game for almost, I think it was
have
about 3 years, and every single Friday
worked.
13th we would get
Some of
these
them
calls from
haven't.
someone. At first I thought it was someone at the studio, Paul or Dan or something, but it had to be like an F-13 fanboy or something. They would use this voice distortion and claim to be Pamela warning us to honor the memory of her son. Sometimes they would just laugh into the phone and hang up, but most of the times they would just, complain about the game taking so long.
That doesn't sound that creepy.
It wasn't until one time I called the number back and heard this.
Put most of the film on the boat due to, yeah, that makes sense. I can imagine New York is a very expensive place to film. Oh yeah, and here's a poster for the trip. Dying to get away. I don't think that's quite what that meant. I really don't. Oh. Let's see, I think that may be, well, it down here. Oh, I forgot about the blue cap. Love is a lie. Oh, okay. The song that plays during Crispin Glover's intro, I think, or dance on the Lions' Love is a Lie. However, during filming, it was AC/DC's Back in Black. They did not use Back in Black for the soundtrack. It was certainly an unusual dance to that piece of music, and the motions of the dance fit properly with the song if correctly synced. Bugsy Wilson and Chad Kingston. Since the inception of the project, the developers knew that the Friday the 13th experience had to be multiplayer to capture the magic of the films. The multiplayer experience is what got us the license. Since Shane Cunningham saw our game, saw that it was multiplayer and could easily essentially play out a film. They had been wanting to make a Friday the 13th game for a long time, but all they had ever been pitched was a single-player game. Oh yeah, and there actually was a Friday the 13th NES game. Where you play as a counselors and try to stop Jason from killing everybody. The release of the game was slated for early 2017, a time frame that was manageable to be wide and for some fans vague. The ambiguity caused quite a bit of energy to be directed at Gun Media, and particularly the community manager, Ben Strauss. It's actually become a meme in our community. Someone sent me a mug that said early 2017 in a Friday the 13th font. Yeah, it does look pretty bad. It is hard to win, but it is not impossible. Oddly enough, it is my favorite skin in the multiplayer mode. Breaking news! Jason Voorhees slain. According to newspaper director, according to director shows that Zito and he and the cast believed Part 4 to be the last Friday film. Not only was the title Final Chapter, the script called for Jason's head to be split open in the final kill. Even Harry Manfrini's musical cue for the final scene was named La Muerte de Jason, which, if you know Spanish, means the death of Jason. Now, obviously, though, they were wrong. Forest Green County. Okay, and don't know who put the plaid blanket on the floor couch, but they need to. But yeah, they probably got what they deserved from Jason. A Long Night at Camp Blood Part 2. Screenplay for the original Friday the 13th was initially called A Long Night at Camp Blood. However, the director always wanted the name to be Friday the 13th. Even before he had a finished script, he took the advertisement out in a trade publication to stake his claim on the popular idiom. The new title was successful, although you can still see references to Camp Blood sprinkled throughout the series. Probably most notably the nickname of Camp Crystal Lake. Oh yeah, and here's some Jason masks. Corey Feldman was slated to reprise his role as Tommy Jarvis in the film. Unfortunately, being cast in 2 Spielberg movies led to him having scheduling conflicts, and he could only appear in the opening sequence. Tommy's fascination with masks served multiple purposes in the film. They served as a homage to special effects artist Tom Savini, which makes even more sense when you consider the first names. And it also served as a kind of philosophical point about horror, that it is contagious. Yet, I have to wonder, imagine if they had continued the series instead of having Jason, bringing in Tommy as the killer. The film featured a recast Jason. The filmmakers discovered a 6'3", 250-pound nightclub owner named C.J. Graham. Graham was part hypnotist stage show whereby a magician would put audience members in a trance and ask them to imagine they were encountering Jason Voorhees. Graham would dress as Jason and scare them in the middle of hypnosis. So, one of the most memorable moments of the film was in Times Square. Jason Hodder, not Jason Hodder, but Kane Hodder, who played Jason, stayed in character the whole time. There were hundreds of people on both sides of the street watching the filming. One quick look from Jason, the crowd would scream, cheer, and go wild. Mask display. Not complete, and also, Jason never wore this mask. This was Roy. yeah, it definitely probably would have been interesting to see. It would have been something to see. Oh yeah, and in the fan film, Never for Hike Alone, one of the actors that played Tommy, he actually he shows up in the film too. So I would definitely check that out. I think Never Hike Alone is under an hour. So then again, lately my recommendations from YouTube has bring up a lot of Friday the 13th fan films. Can I go in here? Okay. Now this should be fun. Yeah, these are some of the most effective weapons against Jason, especially the shotgun. Doesn't actually kill him, but it does distract him for a while. And there's a pocket knife. Yeah, if Jason actually grabs you in the game and you have a pocket knife, you can stab him with it. He'll let you go, you can run away, but, well, yeah, it's as simple as that. I think at one point there was a time at the game when you could find 4 or 5 there were tons of pocket knives everywhere, and if you're playing as Jason, you were pretty much out of luck. Okay, the MPAA ratings board. Yeah, Casey Scott. When Hollywood fails, the fans pick up and do better. Oh yeah, and something else about Never Hike Alone. They recently released Never Hike in Snow, which is kind of a prequel to Never Hike Alone. And they're going to do 2 more films. Okay. Yeah. Friday the 13th's always had an R rating. And directors normally get annoyed how much has to be cut to get that rating. I mean, at least from Friday the 13th. Especially John Carl. Gore was the purpose of the film to him. Okay. Firecrackers. Yeah, this was added in the beta to kind of help distract Jason. Yeah. And there's the pig splitter. Yeah. New Line tried making Freddy vs. Jason PG-13. Aren't they? Man. They really were crazy, weren't they? Yeah, the game had its own problems with censors. Germany's ratings board found it so violent they rejected the game at launch. Well, that sucks. Maddie Spray. After menacing the crew of the Grendel, Jason is shot to death by the android KM-14. With half a body and half a head, Jason falls into a nanomed bay that heals the super killer. Well, super heals the killer. With future technology, Jason is reborn as Uber Jason. Same bloodthirst, but deadlier, nearly indestructible, and with limit of movement for actor Kane Hodder. Professor Geek! You finally showed up! Okay. Oh, yeah, spear. Alright. In the game, there are several kills with a spear to take their origin from the movies. Including the kill where Jason spears a counselor in the face, for example, is a reference to the Volkswagen Beetle scene from Part 6. And of course, spray paint. During the sequence, Jason chases Rennie and Sheen through the subway. Two spray-painted slogans are clearly visible. Jason lives and Quackerton lives. The first tagline in the 6th installment, and the second is a shout out to a band that director Rob Hinman was in as a youth. I don't know, anytime you add lives at the end of it, it's always an interesting reference. Like in the original Wreck-It Ralph movie, there's one point where you can see the line "Aerith lives," and bonus points if you can tell me what reference that is to. And I'll give you a hint: it's a game I like. Jump scare. The iconic stinger in Part 1 where the boy Jason springs from the lake helped spawn a franchise. According to special effects legend Tom Savini, the origin of the scene started at as a conversation he had with Sheen Cunningham. Savini had just seen Carrie and had been impressed with the stinger at the end. He suggested that once the killer had died and the audience was relaxed, boy Jason should jump up out of the lake and attack Alice. Cunningham agreed, and thus the rest is history. Let's see what we got here. Oh, a bat. Oh yeah, Kane Hodder did the motion capture for Jason's kills in the game. He's known for his intensity and dedication to his craft for some weapon kills. And apparently when some of the kills in the movies they had to edit or cut out. Probably most famously the sleeping bag scene. I think there is a reference later on to it in the virtual cabin, in which it was a lot more brutal than what we saw on screen. Metal pipe. Tom Savini, whose guidance helped shape the kills in 2 Friday movies, as well as the game, always anchored on his special effects in the real world. It can't be preposterous because you won't believe it. And while the realness of practical effects come at a cost to time, resources, and ingenuity for Savini, it's always worth it. Did I scare you? Well, that's what I do. Yeah, I have to say, most of the older horror movies and slasher movies are a lot better. I mean, I actually prefer the original Jaws movie, not because of the mechanical shark, but because, well, in the original Jaws, you actually did have some real sharks. Whereas more recent shark horror movies, most notably the Sharknado series, it's just that unbelievable. Especially since sharks normally can sense when something weather-wise is coming and they'll try to get out of the area. Throughout his career, Tom Savini has been called many things, perhaps most adorably the Sultan of Splatter, there's a million different ways you can slice a throat, but only one right way, and that's the Savini way. Oh yeah, bear traps. The novel for Entertainment, Hate, Kill, Repeat sets the stage for the FBI sting that occurs at the beginning of Part 9. Jason Goes to Hell. In the epilogue of the novel, the FBI have discovered that Jason does exist and goes about setting up a trap to send him straight to hell. Do one even considers Sharknado series horror movies at all? I don't know. Honestly, that is an interesting thought. Personally, I think they're more comedy. I mean, I would actually consider Ghost Shark, as awful as that is, more horror than Sharknado. And trust me, you do not want to see Ghost Shark. It is that bad. Especially when the shark starts jumping out of mud puddles and biting people in half. Radiator called Tommy Jarvis. Throughout the series, Harry Mancini's iconic "Ki ma ma" has been used to underscore Jason's presence. Told you, Wolf Den Media, it's "Ki ma ma," not "ha." Not ha ha, chi ha ha ha. Okay. Tommy Jarvis, driven mad by hallucinations of Jason, rises from his hospital bed, whispers "ki ta ta ta" as he opens the drawer to see the hockey mask waiting for him. Ki is for kill, ta is for Tommy. That one. Oh, and there's Pamela's head. Or something to represent it, I think. No, that's a mask. Oh yeah, this is talking about, Tommy Jarvis being one of the few recurring protagonists in the series. Showing up in 3 movies. Played by 3 different actors, and originally he was more of a homage to Tom Savini. Oh, and look, there's a mask from one of the Star Wars movies. Oh, yeah, Shelly's in the game. He's actually one of the characters you can play in multiplayer mode, as well as one of the counselors, who tries to defeat Jason, hide from Jason, or escape Jason. And he's probably one of the weaker characters. And you also miss out on the trivia about Shelly. So, let's see. Friday the 13th Part 3 is the first film in the series to break the date implied on the title. The film picks up the day after the events of Part 2. So that one took place on the 14th, and then the film takes. Well, there are a few scenes on Saturday. The film most takes place on the 15th. Okay. Well, Saturday the 14th, Jason is dead. 2-for-1 burger sale. I feel like that should have been a. Okay, kiss. Zombies in Space. Best movie of the year in space. Which one, Wolf 10 Media? Oh. Slasher Volume 1 Summer Camp. Even before they had the license, the developers for Gun Media intended to write a love letter to the Friday the 13th series. They knew they needed legends to do it. Speaking of their early days, co-creator Ronnie Hobbs didn't mince words. Our goal all along for Slasher Volume 1 Summer Camp was to get Tom Savini, Kane Hodder, and Harry and Manfredini. We knew we needed those guys on board. We couldn't do it ourselves. Oh, Summer Camp Slasher Volume 1. Yeah, I think I remember hearing somewhere originally they wanted to do a bunch of different killers, a bit like what was done with Dead by Daylight, except you would have like a different killer for a different area. Yeah. Bad. Like other movies in the series, Part 2 had difficult time receiving an R rating. An X rating was only avoided once. 48 seconds had been trimmed. One thing that raised the air of censors particularly was the murder scene of Jeff and Sandra impaled by a spear while having sex on a bed. Yeah, that is, and I'm going to say one of the challenge kills has a little bit something similar. The original movie, the role of Brenda was played by Laurie Bartham. The audience is introduced to her character as she is moving an archery target to the range. As she places the target on an easel, a foreshadowing arrow shot by the prankster Ned was inspired later in the movie. She is thrown through a window. As it happened, it was not Laurie Barton who did the stunt, but Tom Savini who played the flying teen. Okay. I think it would have been more ironic if she was shot with an arrow. Jason's relationship with animals is undefined. In Part 2, Jeff and Sandra discover a dead dog. It is suspected that it is the work of the killer, but it's never confirmed. In Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. The director wanted Kane Hodder, who played Jason, to kick a dog. Hodder refused, saying that it wasn't in Jason's character. Bird. The jungle gym in the front of the Voorhees residence that Jason and protagonist Stephen Freeman fight on is the same jungle gym Alfred Hitchcock used for the birds. And there's a generator. Oh, axes, and machetes. Preferring manual weapons like axes, Jason has never used a chainsaw in dispatching his victims. A chainsaw was, however, used on Roy at the end of Part 5. In the climactic scene, Pam, played by Melanie Kinman, she fights off her attacker with a chainsaw, slicing through his shoulder to the bone. Yeah, and I think little bit off topic, but there was actually a series or a few books in which Jason spent some time with Leatherface. Man, Nui. It's okay if you're late. I still love you. Axes. Special effects artist Tom Savini came to the attention of Friday the 13th filmmakers from his work on the movie Dawn of the Dead. Of particular note was the original nature of his special effects and kills. It was a realism that was hard-won. Savini had a combat photographer in Vietnam. If the special effects he created didn't give the same feeling as what he remembered from war, they weren't good enough. To promote Jason Takes Manhattan, an axe-wielding King Hodder appeared on the Arsenio Hall show in full Jason regalia. Hodder didn't speak or break character throughout the entire interview. Credit to Arsenio for pulling it all off. Machete. In every Friday the 13th movie, the killer has used a machete at least one time. And this even includes Part 1. Of course, that's also how the killer loses her head. In Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, Jason's right eye that shows machete damage opposite the left eye is damaged at the end of Part 4. And they corrected it for the game. They actually took a poll to see if it should be retconned or left as is. The verdict was that it should be fixed. I don't know. What do you guys think? Pickaxe. Filming Friday the 13th can be a difficult, risky affair. Man, Newell, you're not subbed yet. Oh well, I guess I still gotta earn it. But, okay, Pickaxe. It can be a risky affair. During the final sequence of Part 2, Jenny, played by Amy Steele, is defending herself from the pickaxe-wielding killer. In one of the early takes, Steele, armed with a machete, sliced stuntman Steve Daskowitz's fingers, sending him to the emergency room. Once he returned, Daskowitz filmed the remaining takes of the film with a prosthetic covering on his hand. Also, another film that the probably more infamous for having a pickaxe wielding killer is the Bloody Valentine movie. I'm going to say if you're going to pick one, pick either pick between the original and the remake. Go with the original. Wrench. Jason turned many implements from tools into murder. However, some of the most censored kills have been from unarmed combat. Sheriff Garris is bent backwards and broken in half. It was a bloodless kill, but nonetheless, it was one that the ratings board had problems with. Oh yeah, again, filming Friday the 13th can be very dangerous. The director actually got his wife cast in a role for Part 6, and in a role that Jason actually speared through the windshield of a Volkswagen Beetle. And during that shot, Jason rammed the spear in the vehicle. The windshield gave way, changed the trajectory, and nearly impaled the director's wife. As far as I know, though, even after that, they were still married. I don't see it in here. Coming soon! But not really. Oh, another reference to Jason Takes Manhattan. There was much discussion on how the killer in Part 2 should be clad. Ultimately, they decided to use a burlap pillowcase. The headpiece was chosen because it was an item that would have been readily available to the killer. Although it was never really liked by the production crew, it did serve as a bridge to the hockey mask. Yeah, and it also felt like a bit of a rip-off from The Town That Dreads Sundown. John Shepherd played the shell-shocked Tommy Jarvis in the 5th film, A New Beginning. Tommy, psychologically damaged by his run-in with Jason in the final chapter, is sent to a treatment facility called Pinehurst Halfway Home. Shepherd took the role seriously, spending a few months volunteering at a state mental hospital to prepare. The spear gun from Part 3. I don't think this is actually in the virtual cabin, but in the challenge, just and in the actual game, you can use it. Oh yeah, Kane Hodder played 3 roles in Jason Goes to Hell. He played Jason, obviously, and he also played a security guard who was dumb enough to mock Jason, and he also played the gloved hand who grabs the hockey mask at the final shot of the movie. So basically, he played Freddy. Because you know what happened after Jason Goes to Hell. And okay, I think that's all I can do while I'm in this. Oh. In one scene in Part 6, a group of campers is shown to be sleeping in a cabin. The camera pans over to the girl who was falling asleep reading Jean-Paul Sartre's novel No Exit. The novel is about 3 people spending eternity together in a small room and ends with the revelation, hell is other people. Quite an odd book for a child to be reading. Oh yeah, and one different element of Part 6, it was the only time in which you actually had kids at the camp. And it kind of raised the stakes a little bit. Well, I won't say a little bit, like a lot. Okay, basically all I can do right now. Let's mess with this computer. Okay, what was that password? What was that password? Okay. At least I think it's supposed to be June. It could be July. Huh. Might have also jumped the gun on this. Guys, do you guys hear a phone ringing? Let's see. It could be Freddy wanting for some... yeah. Possible. Then again, it could also be Ghostface. No, they thought about doing it, but they decided not to. Okay, what was that password? Oh, wait. I know what it is. Who is the one person Jason loves more than anything? Okay. Added downstairs display room. Ported searchable furniture. User interface. Oh, I can now have an inventory. Oh, and Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna need this. Yeah, this is how you can tell it's not a real phone number. Okay, I might have messed up. Okay, so let's start with 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Casey Scott, he remembers that kind of phone. Okay. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 6, 1, 8. Oh. Let's see. Oh, no. Now we can. Flames. The most requested to playable Jason was director Adam Marcus and actor Kane Har's version of Jason Goes to Hell. This is ironic given how little screen time the movie gives to that version of Jason. Okay, this mask. Wait, I actually need that. Oh yeah, I'm actually going to explore here later. I'm going to need this, that. Wow, someone didn't do the dishes yet. Oh yeah, potato sack. Steve Darkowitz played the burlap-hooded Jason. This sack would flap during takes, obscuring his vision. Man, that guy didn't have any luck. Pinehurst Diner. Jason menaced several diners throughout the series. This menu is inspired by the diner from Part 5. After another diner, Jason Takes Manhattan features Jason busting in, hunting Renee and Sheen. Okay. Okay, I know there's another phone around here somewhere. see. Record player. Being an avid David Bowie fan, Frank McCoy Jr. has named the production titles of several films after Bowie's songs. Part 3, given the working name Crystal Japan. Part 5, Repetition. Part 8, Ashes to Ashes. Perhaps the cleverest name is the one for Part 6, Aladdin Sane. Try saying it slowly while you're thinking about the film. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, now you know the virtual cabin goes a little deeper than we let on. There are quite a few more like secrets left to discover. We hid some content in this cabin that will not be easy to unlock. You'll really have to think outside the box.
So like a puzzle game.
Think of this less like a puzzle game designed to get through in like an afternoon, and more like an experience for our community to get to know the movies better, or for the hardcore fans to test their knowledge. That might be too much to say, but we could always cut that out later, right?
And how will players know when they've uncovered all the secrets?
It should be pretty obvious.
Oh! Yeah. Meet the only creature that was ever killed during the filming of a Friday the 13th film. Although there was quite a bit of accidents. Yeah, the snake featured in the in the original film, was real. There was no way to fake it. And ironically, it's a black snake. Those are not that dangerous. Unless you count black mamas. Or black sea snakes. And then, well, the red door. With the budget just over $500,000, Sheen Cunningham had little budget for expensive lighting rigs, resulting in very dark night shots. Making the best situation, he chose props and costumes with bright colors. Even the doors were painted bright red. Snakes. Why do you have to be snakes? Well, you find them in the woods. Oh, yeah, there's some stuff outside too. And there's the wheelchair from Part 2, in which a lovable wheelchair-bound jock is killed by Jason. And of course, that was the first time he killed Jason killed somebody with a machete. Let's see what's in here. Oh, need this. Well, it's already. Well, it's almost 11 o'clock already. I'm going to try to get as far as I can, but and I was planning on going back to Hitman next week. Would anyone be upset if at around 11:30 I called it a night and then picked up where I leave off here next week? Or would you guys like me to do an early stream on Friday? And by early, I mean around 6 o'clock. Oh yeah. I hate to say it, but this was actually one of my favorite kills from Jason Takes Manhattan. And don't hate me for saying that. Okay, Matt. Okay, Casey. I see. And Matt Newey. Oh. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Steve, only 2 actors have appeared in both the film and the TV series, John Shepard and John de LeMay, who plays Stephen. Both are named John and both improbably survive. Fun fact. There were over 100 licensed rights to think products and toys. Together, they have grossed over more than 125 million revenue. When this game was published, it's probably a lot more than that now. Did you ever play the Fatal Frame games? Well, I was able to play the Spirit Camera for the 3DS, but I have never been able to get the actual PlayStation 2 games. And I have searched for them. But they are insanely expensive, especially Fatal Frame 2. Okay. One of the more memorable characters in the series is a bounty hunter and self-stylized cowboy, Connington Duke, played by Stephen Williams. In the scene in Part 9 in which Duke breaks John de LeMay's fingers in prison is director Adam Marcus's favorite scene in the movie. Yeah, he is. I think I remember the character probably more for giving a quote from a Friday the 13th type of. Well, I'm not. Do you remember in Jaws how Resident Evil 4? I've never actually gotten into the Resident Evil games. I'm sorry to say that's true. Although I have thought about giving the remakes a try or remasters. Todd Farmer made a cameo in his own movie as the character Dallas. Luckily, they used a stuntman for the scene where Jason smashes Dallas into the wall. Unluckily for the stuntman who took the hit and broke his nose. Yeah, that's not fun. I actually have had my nose broken. Okay. To promote the movie, Paramount had an advertising campaign with Jason slashing through the iconic I Love New York logo. It was later abandoned when New York City Tourism Committee filed a complaint.
Sweet. Well, now you know the virtual cabin goes a little deeper than we let on. There are quite a few more like secrets left to discover.
See, did I already go with stuff from here?
That will not be easy to unlock. You'll really have to think outside the box.
So like a puzzle game.
Think of this less like a puzzle game designed to get through in like an afternoon, and more like an experience for our community to get to know the movies better. Or for the hardcore
Which Friday's
fans
my
to test their
favorite?
knowledge. That might be too much to say, but we
Man.
can always cut that out later, right?
And how will players know when they've uncovered all the secrets?
It should be pretty obvious.
I have to say either the first Friday 13th or Part 3. Because in the first one, you had this mystery of who the killer was, and it was, I felt like it was really well built up, and of course, ironically, it was not Jason being the killer in that one. Whereas in Part 3, you had your established killer, but you also had so many great moments, and particularly the iconic mask. You mean Jason X? Yeah, I've seen that. I gotta say, I think it was a cool look for Jason, but same time, I actually think, yeah, it did have some interesting kills. But trying to figure out the best way to put this. It was a little crazy. Yeah, I think that would be an interesting crossover. Oh, and I just now noticed we have sticker jeans. Let me see if I can remember where everything goes. Is it just me, or does the middle figure on this one kind of look like Jason? Whoa! And it's times like this that I'm glad I'm no longer afraid of spiders. Okay. Yeah. Now, something else is A few months ago, there was a video of a Halloween game. Actually, you can probably look it up on YouTube. And during that, and in that, well, how it ends, it kind of ends in a teaser for Jason versus Michael. Which I think, if I was another character in that movie, I think I'd be very, very afraid. Okay, that should work. Or not. Let's see. Okay, we got our first merit badge. Okay. And actually, I need to be looking for some masks. Maybe I better see if I got them all. No, I think I'm missing one. Huh. Let me double check. Oh, here we go. Oh. Yeah, we already got that. Oh. After an epic battle in the Voorhees dining room, impeccably named bounty hunter Clayton Duke is killed by Jason with a bear hug. Let me see. I think I got them all now. Okay. And now we take off the imposter. Okay. At least that should have worked. Okay. Finally. And I cannot say your name, but hello. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna grab some more something in here. There's a thing in here. Actually, maybe downstairs. Man, that telephone ring is driving me crazy. Okay. Let's see. Should be a display somewhere. Okay, yeah, the pair. Let's see. 4 birds. And let's see, there should be 2 more displays. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and add these up here. Oh, what's up, man, Nui? Basically, they're objects from different movies. I think what's on them is supposed to symbolize the, like, how many items is on a picture. It's from, it depends on what movie it is. Yeah, there should be some more. Let's see, where is that? I don't think there was one in here. Let me check upstairs. Okay. And I think it's time to make a phone call. Let me see. One, two, three, and four, two, nine, two, seven, seven.
Who is this? Where is my boy?
Yeah, that was Pamela. So. Okay. Keep the door closed. Alright. Yeah, that was creepy. I actually have a staircase like this in my house. Not behind a secret door, but yeah. Man, no railings either. That's undercover. Okay. In addition to decapitating Pamela Voorhees, Alice, played by Adrian King, has the honor of being one of the few characters to make an appearance in more than Friday the movie, even though it was briefly. Don't go in the basement. I kind of have to, Agent Boomer. I don't know why I want to call you Agent Boomer. Oh well. Yeah, and something I found out through the documentary, his name was Jason, is she also had a stalker. And that's why, originally she was going to be like the Laurie Strode of Friday the 13th. Being a recurring protagonist. But because of the stalker, she decided not to. And they only, that's why she has such a small role in Part 2.
Congratulations on completing fleeing the virtual cabin. In the future, we might update this space to reveal what's behind those two curtains. But for now, we just want to say thank you for playing and invite you to stay as long as you would like.
Oh, this is part 2, Jason. Who came back to get revenge for his mama. And left us asking at the very end of the movie, where's Paul? Final chapter. It was originally going to be the end of the series, but, well, Tommy Jarvis may have temporarily killed Jason, but, you know, we know Jason didn't stay down. New blood. Oh yeah, the one that was chained to the bottom of the lake and had the final girl who had magic powers. Well, had telekinesis. Also, I kind of like the exposed ribs. It just adds that. It just adds to the creepiness. Ooh. And Jason Goes to Hell, in which actual. Yeah, final chapter was the last until it made lots of money. Yeah. And Goes to Hell was the most divisive in the franchise, with Jason being able to possess people. And he actually had almost no screen time. I promise I'll answer the phone in a minute. Let's see. Part 3. This is where Jason got his mask. And this one was in glorious 3D. Actually, you can still find copies of Friday 13th Part 3 in 3D. I think my brother even has the box set that has Part 3 in 3D. I think Jaws 3 was also in 3D too. Kill the phone. Kill the bloody phone. I will in a minute. We gotta go through all these Jason mannequins. There's actually a rumor the New Blood was originally meant to be Jason versus Carrie. Yeah. I remember for Carrie, and I'm assuming you mean like the Sissy Spanks Carrie read that's based on the Stephen King novel. Man, that would have been creepy. Part 6, Jason Lives, where Tommy starts off the movie by reviving Jason. And this is Jason from Jason Takes Manhattan, who starts off the movie by terrorizing, I think, teenagers on a boat called the SS Lazarus. Okay. Only a tiny portion of the film was actually filmed in Manhattan, as you know. And actually, I think you can still find that interview from that show on YouTube. And this one was supposed to represent Jason in hell. And this is actually a reward if you back the game. Unfortunately, I didn't. I kind of wish I had. Especially because this skin is so awesome. I mean, Tom Savini actually designed this specifically for the game. And, you know, he's even got the pitchfork from Lucifer himself. And, it also kind of goes with the storyline from Mortal Kombat 10. Because Jason was a bonus character from that. Well, in which I think the ending to his story mode was he actually killed Liu Kang at the end. He's pretty fun in MKX, yeah. And, I'm getting ready to call it a night. And next week, I was going to go back to Hitman, but I think I'm actually going to finish this next week. And then I'll get back to Hitman on, let's see, my birthday's on the 9th, so Tuesday, oh yeah, so I think on the 11th we're going to go back to Hitman.
You can bring him back, There's always a way.
Okay. Now, she was definitely not there when I answered the phone. Well, after I answered the phone. So anyway, guys, that's it for the Friday 13th Virtual Cabin this week. I will, like I said, I'll finish it up next week. And, if it's not a bloody jump scare, well, it's not a bad jump scare. It definitely wasn't Jason with a machete getting ready to cut your head off. But, yeah. So, and if I still have some time left, I may do a game or two of the offline multiplayer mode. I'm sorry, I do not trust anyone on online mode not to be rude. Oh right, YouTube doesn't want you to referencing things not being alive. Okay, well that's it, guys. Have a happy Halloween. And I will be on I am planning on showing up for the book study tomorrow night. I just said to kill the phone and it didn't show up on screen. Oh. Okay. well, until next time, guys, this is Green Lion Girl. Have a good night. And be careful. Jason's been dormant for a really long time. Oh yeah, and there's a Friday 13th of November too, so